session for Imagetrial system demo, and I'm honored to conduct this session in front of prominent laboratory researchers. And excuse my English skill if it's not perfect. And I will start from now. There are three main agendas, and I will start out with how to use ICRF, which is resist form, through reader account. So you may receive the registration email, and you may set the password through this registration email. And you may input the ID and the password into the login page. Once you log in, you may see the account role that you will receive, and you will also confirm the project list. As you click the project list, you may see the dashboard. And if you haven't done any of the resist report done yet, there will be nothing on this dashboard. But if you finish certain cases, it will be appear in this dashboard. So you can conveniently confirm the tumor change rate throughout this dashboard. So let's say, for example, this blue line is subject number 1, and you can see the subject number 1 tumor change rate by each time point. And if there are too many subjects and you are hard to check the change rate per each subject, you can select the subject in this subject section. You may also see the list throughout the subject list or visit list. Before explaining the subject list and visit list, I would like to explain you about the R icon color meaning. So R icon color basically means ICRF, the resist form status. So blue icon means ICRF is approved, which means resist form is done. And orange icon means ICRF is saved, which means resist form is saved. And gray icon means ICRF is yet completed, which means resist is not started. So you may click on the gray icon and start filling out the ICRF. So if you click on the subject list, you may see the list of the subjects. And if you want to click on the certain subject, you may click on it and you may see the visits of that certain subject. So let's say, if you want to confirm subject number 1, you click on it, and then you can see the whole time point of subject 1, like this. And you may click on the R icon to access the resist form. If you click on the visit list, you may see the whole visit list like this for each subject. And also the same, you may click on the icon and you may access to the resist form. As you click the resist form will be appeared like this. And first of all, I would like to explain you about the viewer tab. If you click on the viewer tab, you can also see the image series like this, and it's automatically checked in this checkbox. And if you click on the web viewer button, the web viewer will be appeared like this. And if you want to measure the lesion, you can click on the measure button, and you can drag the certain lesion that you want to measure. Then the measurement value will be appeared like this. And if you click on the right button, you can select either target, non-target, new target lesion, new non-target lesion. And let's say if it's target lesion, and if you click on it, the measurement value will be automatically appeared in the ICRF on the resist form like this. And all you need to do is just fill out the rest of the sections that you want to fill out. And this red spot means mandatory section, which means it is the mandatory information that is needed in this project. So you need to fill out this red spot section. Next one is save button. So if you want to save this resist form, you need to click on the save button. Then you may see that the R icon will change its color into orange, which means it is perfectly saved. Next one is the validation button. It's the before step of approval of this ICRF or the resist form. So it will show whether it can be approved or not. So if it's validation fail, it means the mandatory sections are not filled yet. So you need to fill it out first and then click the validation button once again. And the validation complete button, if all of the mandatory sections are all filled out and you click on the validation button, the validation complete will be appeared. Then the approve button will be activated, which means this resist form is ready to be activated, ready to be approved. Next one is approve button. So if all of the resist form is filled and you want to lock this form, you click on the approve button, and then you need to conduct the electronic sign, which is just really conveniently just inputting your ID and password. This process is needed since once you approve it, this ICRF, this resist form will be locked. So electronic sign will be shown as the official lock process. And I would also like to add the additional function of follow-up time point resist form. So after the follow-up time point, which is after baseline time point, like time TP1, TP2, and so on, the target lesions will be automatically dragged from the baseline resist form. So for example, if in baseline resist form, if anatomical location of target lesions and non-target lesions are abdomen and abdominal aorta and like this, it will be automatically dragged into the follow-up time point resist form like this. And also, if new lesions are seen in the follow-up time point, you can always input in here, and you can always click on the plus button if there is more. And also in follow-up time button, the overall response section will be activated. So you can also fill out the overall response section. Next one is multiform. So the multiform is basically you can conveniently confirm the brief results of whole time points per subject. So let's say if it's subject number 1, you can see subject number 1 baseline time point results to time point 4, the follow-up results. So you can compare really conveniently, and you can just see the whole results in one page. This is actually not really applicable to this project, but ReQC is basically reader requesting QC analyst to redo the QC once again, but I'll just move on. If you click on the audit button, you can always see the form, the audit trail of this form. So you can see the image upload information and how this form, the form save information and the approve information through this section. And I guess this will be the important one, which is modify button. So once the form is approved, it's locked, so you cannot modify it. But if you want to modify it, you can come back to that form and you can click on the modify button. And once you click on it, there will be electronic sign once again. And you need to write down the comment, the reason why this modification is needed. And you can also input the ID and password and conduct the electronic sign once again. And then the form will be reopened. And afterwards, you can modify the form. I would also want to briefly tell you how to export the data through DM account. Logging in process is just same as a reader account. So I would like to omit. Once you log in through the data DM account, you may see the data manager tab on the left side banner like this. And you can export in the form that you want. But before exporting it, you also need to do the electronic sign, same as before, just input the ID and password and click on the save button. And you can export STM, which is CITES standard form like this, or MMF, which is straightforward format like this. And now I would like to briefly show you how to use the Imagetrial system through this demo section. So this is the login page, and you may input your ID and password and you can press the login. And as I've mentioned, you can see the role that you've received and the project list, and you can click on it. And as I've mentioned, there's dashboard. I've actually practiced just once to make sure this is all going okay. So I've practiced with L001 subject. So you can see the baseline in time point 1, L001 subject tumor change rate results through this graph. Now there's only 2 subjects that is set in this system. So you can only see 2 subjects, but if there's more, you can always see more list and you can just select it. So as I've mentioned, you can either click subject list or visit list. If you click on subject list, as I've mentioned, there's only 2 subjects right now. So you can see these 2 subjects. And let's say if you want to have a look on subject L02, you can click on it. And then you can see the L02 visit list like this. If you want to look the form through visit list, you can click on visit list. And then you will see the whole visit list of 2 subjects like this. So, for example, if you want to look at L002 baseline report, you can click on this gray button, which means it needs to be filled out. And as I've mentioned, you can click on the viewer. And you will see the whole image series in here. If you want to just, let's say, just look at just one series, then you can just click on one series. But if you want to see the whole series, you can just click on this big big category button, and then you can click on the web viewer. Then you will see the images are loading in right now. And I would like to initially mention that I'm not an expert in this sector. So my measurement explanation will be wrong, but I would just like to explain you about the tool. Let's say if you want to measure the certain lesion over here, you click on the measure button and you click on the length. And if you want to measure this part, you can just drag like this, and the value will be appeared like this. And you just click on the right button. And let's say if it's target number 1, you select target number 1. Then the measurement value will be automatically appeared in here. So it was 36.87 millimeter. The 36.87 millimeter will be appeared in here. And all you need to do is just fill out the red spot, which is the essential section that you need to fill out. And for example, if it's abdomen, you can click on abdomen. And also same for the non-target lesion. If this is non-target lesion, you can also measure like this. Same, just drag down like this. And you can click on the right button. And if it's non-target number 1, you can select number 1 like this. And it will be appeared in here like this. So also, let's say if it's abdomen, you can click on abdomen. And if the lesion status is, you can click on among these selections. Let's say if it's present, you can select present. And you can always fill out other sections if it's needed, like description over here. And once you filled out all of the form, you can all of the form, but if you want to save the form, you can click on the save button. Then the form will be saved successfully. You can see from here, it used to be gray button. It was LO to be baseline time point. It was gray button. And if you refresh the page, it will turn into the orange button, which means it's saved successfully. And if you want to approve this form, if you want to finish this form, you need to do the validation process first. So click on the validation first. And if it's all filled, the mandatory sections are all filled, you will see the validation complete pop up. And then the approve button will be activated. So you can click on the approve button. And validation is completed. And you can click on the save button and the report will be saved successfully. So when we go back and we refresh the page, we will see that the report form color will turn into blue, which means it's all done. And as I've mentioned, the multi-form, there's only baseline multi-form since I've only done the baseline. If modification is needed, this is approved form, so it's locked. As you can see, it's all locked. So if you want to modify it, you need to click on the modify button, and I will just type modification needed. just as an example, and then you input ID and password and click on the save button, it will be released up to the follow time point, including the current time point. So you can click on OK. Then you can just modify. I'll just modify random thing, which is modality. If it's MRI, then you can click on MRI. You can go for the validation again. It's completed, and you can go for approve once again. The report will be saved successfully, and you will change into MRI, and it's locked once again. So you can confirm it like this. And also, you can see the audit trail that I've mentioned, like the image upload information to approve and request modify. And we've just finished the baseline report, but it's also same for the follow-up report. It's also same. As I've mentioned, the baseline target lesion and non-target lesions are all dragged down here automatically since the change is not needed. And as I've mentioned, the overall response will be activated like this. So the whole process is just the same as I've mentioned. And I was told that the data export demo, if it's needed, maybe it can be conducted next time. But this time, only the reading process of this system demo will be conducted. So yes, what I've prepared today is finished. Are there any questions?
Yes, thank you for your thorough explanation. And so if we fill out all the mandatory sections, so does the program automatically calculate the resist criteria, or should we have to fill out?
Yes, well, if the calculation is needed, and if the calculation is set it in the system, it will be calculated automatically.
Okay, thank you. So we just have to fill out the all the mandatory sections, and the resist criteria will be calculated. And so do we have to like validate and sign for every patient, like for every patient and every lesion, every follow-up?
Oh, so this report is for each time point. So for each time point, every report should be validated.
Okay. So my okay, thank you. And my last question is that so can we use this program simultaneously from different computers, or should we have to work on a single computer, like with a single account?
Oh, the single account. I think I may have to confirm this from IT manager. 박사님. Can I?
네.
박사님, 이거 계정 하나를 동시에 여러 컴퓨터에서 사용할 수 있어요?
네. 가능해요.
네. Yes, you can use one account in several computers.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll try to work with this program, and yeah, I've noticed that Dr. Henley Kie has sent a link Yes, so okay. Thank you very much. And it's pretty much it.
Yes,
Thank
so
you.
thank you for excellent training session, Hyojin. So on the
Okay.
chat, I share the ID and password so that you guys can log into Imagetrial with your data. But at this moment, the data have not yet been fully loaded. We are still doing some data work. I'm sorry for the noise made by my son, but so you guys might see some errors in images, and that will be corrected soon. And if you tackle images of subject ID with L100 or later, you would see all the images properly loaded. So if you want to play around with yourself, the image trial, please look at the subject ID L100 or later. And as Hyojin explained, you guys would love to export data to Excel files or something, and that function can be done with another account in different role. It's called DM account, and this types of account will be given to you shortly as we are working on it. So I think that is all the necessary information that you guys need to play around with Imagetrial. So thank you, and thank you for excellent questions. And is there any other questions? All right, then, so I'm going to share the slide and this videotape so that you guys can just watch the video again for